Welcome back to another reaction for Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 4 Episode 4.
新たにできた8世の工房を稼働させるべくお茶会で寄付金を募ることになったローゼマインだが
What do you mean, however? We just started. So yeah, last episode we made the monastery. They were like, okay, we are done, you can start. Or the investor was like, you can start, and mine is like, we can't, we need furniture, we need windows, we need a bunch of stuff. We need more money. And he's like, tough luck. We used all our budget. So that is why we solicit donations? Something goes wrong. Pretty sure these don't exist in normal noble society. Especially the sponge one. I feel like that one doesn't exist. I'm assuming she is going too far. No.
ローゼマインが新しく事業を始めることになりました。ご協力いただけると。
That is Florentia, if I recall correctly, the wife of Sylvester. I'm wondering, is this where we sell some stuff?
助かります。
Because something goes wrong somehow.
私、全然相手にされてないよ。
Granted, you are only going to their knees, so people are like, who? Even if she is the High Bishop, how to collect donations? Now the question is, are we going to get a little bit more of the training? We saw like in episode 1 that Elvira was giving mine a crash course of noble society stuff. Because the idea was normally for her to be a commoner for a couple more years so they can slowly introduce her to all the noble stuff. But because we had to fast track the adoption, is she even in a position to mingle with high society? We saw Elvira and Florentia doing most of the talking, which makes sense.
また倒れたそうだな。
面目ございません。今回のお茶会はエルビーラお母様とフロレンチア母様、
Okay.
二人の信頼と実績のおかげでかなりの寄付金が集まって大成功したんだけど。
Interesting. We just flash forward from the donation drive. I do not remember if something happened there. It feels like we are. I don't know where we are running to. Was this volume so big? Was there so much stuff that they were like, oh, we can't show everything, we need to cut this, we need to cut that, we need to... It feels like we are just rushing to some point. I don't know which point
事業
though.
のため、これから先も寄付金を募らなければなりませんのに。お茶会程度でも倒れてしまうのは由々しき問題ですわね。
体力と社交力を高めるにはまだ時間がかかりそうです。
ではどうするおつもり？
神殿。
Just make money?
あっちの世界の教会だとチャリティーバザーとかしてたっけ？
Okay.
不用品を売って収益の一部をいただくなんていかがでしょう？
神殿では使わなくなったものを売ってしまわれるのかしら？
ほんと、新館長って貴族女性のアイドルだよね。
For a moment, it sounded like she was more or less mad that you would even consider selling like hand-me-downs. Now it sounds like they're like lions looking for anything that could have come from Ferdinand, which is still crazy because on that evening no one was approaching him at all. No one was like, "Oh, Ferdinand." Everyone was like, "Eh, he doesn't want to marry, he doesn't want children," or whatever the case was, and no one approached him.
アイドル。
Yeah, no. No. Now that having read the novel, did he ever laugh? Did he ever smile? I believe he smiled. Did he ever laugh? I don't believe so. Is he even capable of laughing? Maybe he has like muscle atrophy from being stern all the time. I mean, yes, you would make millions if you were able to do that. But I don't believe he's going to help you in that way.
そうだよ。チャリティーコンサートを開けばいいんだよ。チケットバカ売れ間違いなしで寄付金問題大解決。さらにプログラムを印刷して売れば事業の宣伝にもなって一石二鳥。
I mean, smart. He's right. It's a double whammy. You get money, they get some stuff. Also, it's a physical item people can talk about, and it showcases their printing industry. Okay.
フェルディナンド様、数曲フェシピールを弾いてくださいませんか？寄付金を募る演奏会を開くのです。
なぜ私が引かねばならない？
お金になりそうだから。私が知っている中でフェシピールが一番お上手ですから。
却下だ。私に何の益もない。
Okay. I mean, she can't come out and say because it makes a lot of money. Sure. However, he didn't say no categorically. He said no because there's no benefit. So if you can give him some benefit. Last episode at the end, he likes your cook. So maybe we can leverage that. I don't know if that is enough though.
ですよね。やっぱり新館長は動かせないか。
なんとか演奏会を行うのです。
絶対断れない。お茶会の恩返しもしてあげたいし。新館長が心惹かれるようなもの。フェルディナンド様、新しい曲を提供するので演奏会で弾いてみませんか？あと、新しい料理のレシピもつけます。あとは、もうありません。
ならこの話は終わりだ。
終わりだではありません。
リヒャルダ。
まったくフェルディナンド坊ちゃまと来たら。
Last boss, you can't. Riada, she knows him since childhood. She knows him inside and out. You know these kind of grandmas. You can't go against them. They're going to be like, "Oh, I fed you the whole time. Do you remember at the time?" And you're like, "Oh, sure, I do what you want. Please." Don't.
病み上がりの姫様に意地悪をするものではありませんよ。
だが私に何の益も。
言い訳は結構。姫様がご用意されようとしたものはすべて坊ちゃまが好むものだったのではありませんか？ケチケチしないで数曲くらい弾いて差し上げなさい。
しかしだな。
あのジルベスター様が主導の事業です。なればこそ坊ちゃまが姫様の後ろ盾にならなくてどうします？お返事は？坊ちゃま。
弾けばよいのであろう。
すごいよリヒャルドおばあちゃ
弾く以外は何もせぬぞ。
ま。それから私たちは開催日を決め、新館長へオルドナンツを飛ばした。プログラムの表紙はビルマに書いてもらおう。
A little bit of a side tangent. I was talking with my friend about the show, and we talked about the last episode where they used a handful of gold dust to as some kind of compensation to summon the monastery. And he was like, yeah, it doesn't sound that expensive. I mean, a handful of gold dust is not that much. So is it really that much budget? Now, we don't really can take Sylvester at his word that all the budget is gone. We don't really know. We don't really have the concept or the value of stuff quite figured out yet. However, I then were looking back because normally gold, people like to wear a lot of gold stuff in our world. And I was looking around. Is she having a gold necklace maybe? Because all the rings are not made out of gold, as example. And it feels like that maybe gold is not really... Maybe it's somewhat rarer, maybe it's not valued as much as accessory.
待ち遠しい。胸が張り裂けそう。
Just excited.
そうだわ。招待状は私に任せてくださらない？
The necklaces, however, do seem to be out of gold. Just something that was a part of the conversation, because my friends do seem a little bit iffy on the beginning of the season. Because of all the stuff we skipped past, and mostly the end of episode 1, the cliffhanger that never really came back, which put everything dampened the mood regarding the show a bit. I feel like most people could agree with that.
お母様待ってください。招待状で皆様をご招待するのではなく、チケットにして売ってもらいたいのです。
チケット？
大事な収入源ですので。
あら、もう。
Just Okay, so they wanted to invite people, but mine is like, let's just sell tickets. Instead of having probably like a donation drive, we just sell the tickets up front. This way we can have a more relaxed show, maybe?
あら、もうお返事が。
一月後の開催で私も構わぬ。ああ、それとこれはローゼマインに伝言だが。
Why is the bird looking evil? Or looking angry?
明日から魔術訓練を始める。薬を飲んで体調を整えておくように。
涼しいを超えたこと。
Okay, magic training.
新館長、すごく怒っていたけど、魔術...
The bird sounded angry. I don't know how you make the bird sound angry. It's like a tool to just... Or the bird looked angry because the sound is from him. But the bird looked angry. I don't understand how you make the ordnance change facial features midway, or what they portray emotionally.
訓練って何させられるのかな。
おはよう、ローゼマイン。
おはようございます、フェルディナンド様。
Hmm.
今日の魔術の訓練はこちらの教科書を読むところからですね。私頑張ります。
リヒャルダ。では魔術訓練に出る。
よく学ばれてきてくださいね、姫様。
なんで私の本。
Is that just like the carrot on the stick? Also, what is this building? It looks like a prison. Where are we going? Also, we have
そな
all
た
our
は
night
自分
guards
の
now.
訓練をせよ。
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
まずい。
Okay.
新艦長と1対1。まさかここで演奏会の八つ当たりをするつもりなんじゃ。
それではまず機銃を作る訓練から始める。
Okay.
機銃？
ああ、今後の神殿業務や事業拡大のための視察など
So
各
we're
地への
going
移
there.
動が
Okay,
増える
okay.
からな。手を。
魔力がものすごい勢いで吸われているのですけど。
それでよい。まずはその石を君の魔力で染める必要がある。もう染まったか。では形を変える訓練に移る。まずは大きくなるように想像しながら魔力を膨らませてみなさい。
わあ、風船みたい。
では魔石を床に置き魔力を流しながら手を離してみなさい。
こうですか、先生。
目を離すなバカ者。
すみません。膨らんでいる。これってどこまで膨らませるんですか？
So yes, this is the creation of the high beast, the same as Sylvester's three-headed lion, which I believe we heard is only the Archduke is allowed to have this three-headed lion. So yeah, this is more or less where the opening comes in.
自分が乗れる大きさまでだ。まだまだ大きくできる。
よかった。風船みたいにいきなりパーンって言われたらどうしようかと。
And yeah, it's not that easy.
何事ですか？少々失敗しただけだ。問題ない。バカ者！自分が思ったように魔石を変化させている最中に割れるようなことを想像すればどうなるかわかるであろう。
ごめんなさい。
I mean, he's not wrong. If it is morphing into what you imagine it to do, imagining it popping, I mean, it's going to pop. That is what it does, seemingly.
まったく貴重な魔石が粉々だ。
金色の粉一つかみで神殿一つ。ってことはこれだけで神殿一つ分の代金？
何をしている？砕けた魔石は元には戻らぬ。
大丈夫です。これは粘土なんです。ほら！
非常識な。
If rules don't apply to you, this what happens? Thinking outside the box? There's another part that she's also thinking about outside the box. But that one is coming up somewhat later.
今日の
Did
と
we
ころは
succeed?
この薬を飲んでおきなさ
I
い。
guess not.
それとこの魔術関係の本だが、
もちろん明日までにバッチリ予習しておきます。早速読書の準備を。
リハルダ、ローゼマインは魔術の訓練で疲れている。
え？
今日はしっかり休ませなさい。また寝込むかもしれぬ。
では本日はもうお休みになさって、読書は明日にいたしましょう。
ああ、その明日だが神殿へ来るように。演奏会の報酬である楽曲とレシピをもらわねばなるまい。
ひどいです、フェルディナンド様。
君の体調のことを考えれば当然だろう。
でも
姫様、坊ちゃまは姫様のことを心配なさっているのですよ。
I mean, that is, I guess, his revenge. Putting books in front of her, but her not allowed to read them.
訓練じゃなくて本のお預けこそが新館長の報復だったんだ。悔しい。
I mean, he's edging her,
も
which
う
is
い
insane.
い。だったらこっちも遠慮はしないよ。プログラムの表紙は新館長の顔のドアップにしてやる。
I don't know if you want to antagonize Ferdinand. I feel like that is going to end up bad.
私は新館長に仕返しすべくガリ版印刷の再現を目指して行動を始めた。
I mean, that meal looked somewhat good. Better than the lettuce she ate last time. This is mostly an update why they're eating. So I guess that is why they are like, you know, this happens, but not important for the story.
ローゼマインはずるい。
ずるい。
By the way, I find it interesting that Wilfried has one guard while mine has 4, which is very interesting.
とは？
私がずるいと言ったらずるいのだ。
わけわかんないよ。今わがままに付き合えるほど暇じゃないの。
Fair enough. I mean, he's a child. He behaves like a child.
あ、所持版が欲しいな。
So the new piece, new
し
disc?
ばらくはお城に滞在すると伺っていましたが、何かございましたか？
新館長に読書をお預けにされたのです。
新館長が？
ええ、しかも何度も。おまけに今朝早起きして読もうと思ったら。
なりませんよ、姫様。本を読み始めるとお約束を忘れてしまうのでしょ。
I did say she's the last boss. You can't. She grew up, or she helped grow up Ferdinand, Sylvester, Karstedt. Especially Sylvester was a handful. He still is very childish. So she knows all the tricks in the books. You can't get anything without her, agreeing to it.
フェルディナンド坊ちゃまがおっしゃいましたよ。
It doesn't help that Ferdinand was a
私
snake.
に本を我慢させてまで神殿に呼び出すなんて。新館長はよっぽどすぐに新しい楽曲とレシピが必要なのでしょう。どうしたのです、フラン？
いえ、私は寄付金が集まったので、それをギルベルタ商会に渡すよう言われたのですが。
ギルベルタ商会？
そろそろ到着の時間かと。
館長に嫌がらせされて大変なんだよ。
何されたんだ？
私の読んだことない本を見せびらかして、でも予定を詰め込んで読ませてくれないの。
それはすげえな。
It's also not what he probably assumed you meant with bullying. Sure, for you, it's torture, but it's a far better deal than what you could have experienced if Ferdinand was not there.
本を使って嫌がらせなんて命知らずというか。
だからね、ガリ版印刷を完成させてやるの。
つながりがわかんねえよ。
いいから一緒に作ろうよ。ね
このアホ！お前らのせいでこっちがどれだけ忙しくなったか分かってるのか？
ベンノさんだって貴族の寄付金集めがどれだけ大変だったか分かってますか？私の金作にはガリ版印刷が必要なんです。設けられる機会は1月後のたった1回限り。しかもガリ版印刷ができるかどうかで設けられる金額がバカみたいに変わるんですよ。
詳しく話せ。
I mean, Ben was all about money, so... and he did more or less teach her all the ropes. He told her all about getting the most out of an opportunity. So this is just her putting that into practice.
これまで私たちは植物紙を作り、羊皮紙に比べ生産性を向上させました。次は木版画。今まで一点物の高級品とされてきた本を以前より安価に、しかも複数冊作れるようになりました。今回作ろうとしているガリ版印刷は版画よりも精巧な絵がついた本をさらに大量に作れる夢のような技術。得られる利益は今までの比じゃありません。ガリ版印刷というの。
Okay, we are going back to bookmaking, which is nice. Because we did go away from this a little bit. Sure, we had the overarching furthering the industry, but not really much bookmaking.
ローを圧着した薄い紙をヤスリ板に押し当てて、鉄筆で小さな穴を開けてインクを通して印刷する方法のこと。この穴が細かいほど精密な絵が印刷できる。ドットが小さいほどテレビの画面が綺麗なのと同じ仕組みだ。細かい穴を開けるには老原子の表面が綺麗なのは絶対条件。いかに薄くて綺麗なろう引きができるか、それが老原子作成の最重要ポイントであり、またガリ版印刷完成の肝である。
Okay. I remember this coming up and me not really understanding it. So the idea is that you have this wax paper that you prepare to let to perforate in specific areas where you let the paint through. Okay. Now this wax paper is, you use that over and over. You just put some paper underneath it, put the wax paper over it, and then you just drop some color on it. Color, black ink. And that's how the picture gets made, right?
肝である。
So very involved
で、
upfront work, but after that it should be easy, right?
その老原子作りなんですけど、ギル？
はい、土台の薄い紙はニョキニョキ紙がいい具合です。一方でろう引きの方がなかなかうまくいっておりません。
というわけでルッツ、老原子作り手伝ってよ。
今俺も忙しいんだよ。
ずいぶんいろいろと考えているな。ならばレッツを貸してやりたいが、こちらも資金不足で人手が必要なんだ。
とりあえず今日はそれだけお渡しできますけど。
よし、レッツは貸し出す。きっちりやってこい。
What did you give him? It's a whole bunch of gibberish. I can't read
出
that.
すきっちりやってこい。
旦那様。
やったー。よろしくねルッツ
Is it also some kind of recipe or invention?
さて、そんな一生懸命のお前に一つ贈り物をさせてもらおうか。
Hairpin? I'm guessing it's a hairpin. Right? Hmm.
所
It's
持
a
版
logo.
どうぞお納めください。
ギルベルタ商会と貴族のつながりを作ってくれた礼だ。前のお前の所持版はトゥーリが使っていると聞いたもんでな。
嬉しい。よーし、老原酒作りもっと頑張るぞー。では工房へ向かいます。
Why is Gil looking so big? Or Lutz is looking so small?
商品の秘密があるので2人はここで残ってもらいたいのですが。
できません。
だよね。ダームエルにお願いします。
お待ちください、ローゼマイン様。私は信用なりませんか？
ブリギッテ、あなたには感謝しています。貴族が嫌がる下町にも同行し、とてもよく仕えてくれていると。
ならば。
ですが、あなたは土地を持つ貴族ギーベの妹。家に利益をもたらす情報を手に入れても黙秘できるか、私にはまだ判別できません。
I mean, she's not wrong. She did dissolve her engagement because her future husband wanted to take over the family. So she has proven she would be willing to go quite far for her family. Now, would she be willing to steal? We don't know. It was a very defensive action, the dissolution of the engagement. But you don't know if she would take some of the secrets.
あなたが家族を思うその優しさを私は知っているから。ダームエルは土地を持たない貴族街の下級貴族。何かあった時は対応がすぐにできるのです。
That is a very threatening way to put it. It sounds like, yeah, if something happens, we can just, push him over the bridge and problem done.
かしこまりました。
これが現在の老原子です。
ルッツ、ヨハンにお使いをお願いします。
Mm.
絶対に仮版印刷を成功させてみせる。新館長が恥ずかしいとか、そんな優しさは丸めてぽい。貴族女性たちがバッタバッタ倒れちゃうような素敵イラストで荒稼ぎだ。
And Ferdinand can't be mad, right? Sylvester told her to get money or to get donations. She's just doing her job as the daughter of an Archduke. What's that preparation? Let's see.
ローゼマイン？チケットとは何ですの？
お値段で座席が変わる予約券のようなものですね。
でしたら私は後ろの座席にいたしましょう。 そうすればお金のない方も買いやすいですしね。
私はここにします。
最高の席でフェルディナンド様の演奏姿を心ゆくまで堪能するのです。
凄まじい新館長ファンプリだよ。
It does showcase a little bit the difference. I mean, Elvira being the fangirl and Florentia thinking more about the other nobles. So at least we are getting somewhere. We are starting with the High Beast, which again you can see in the opening. We have this big, not standoff, but fight, if you want to say that, going on between mine and Ferdinand. And both sides seem to be hell-bent on taking revenge. Now this is going to be interesting for the future, because Ferdinand is clearly like, okay, I'm going to take my revenge. Here are some books, you can't read them. So next time you think of using me, think twice. Meanwhile, Rosemine is trying to get one over on him. We will see how effective that is, if even at all. But yeah, it's nice to see that we get back into bookmaking a bit. And that's mostly it, right? She was not doing well in the noble donation gathering thing, so she's trying to do it a different way. And we also have the whole part between Brigitte and Damuel, that Damuel is being involved more, even though he's a low-ranked noble, which does have some... I mean, the higher the rank of your nobility, the higher you see yourself at. So having a low-ranked noble be trusted more than a medium-ranked noble, I feel like could go a bit against the mad noble. So we will see if there's something going on there or not. But at the moment, it's all about trying to get these pictures going.